I started the month listening to a book called Essentialism, The Disciplined Pursuit of Less by Greg McKeown. He discussed different facets of this, but the message that struck me the most was that in order to accomplish anything, we have to get rid of the trivial excess and focus on what really matters. In order to do that, we have to be conscious of what we say yes to. Sometimes we don't even realize we're saying yes to something, but unintentionally saying no to what actually matters most. Something I used to do a lot was deciding I needed to do all the chores before I could draw. Doing chores is necessary to some extent, yes, but did I really need to do it all right that second? No, I really didn't. Instead of protecting that time, I ended up giving the time to literally everything else but what I really wanted to do. Here's another example. Maybe your family matters most to you, but for some reason, they always seem to be the first to be told, maybe later, I'm busy right now. I think sometimes we're even worse to ourselves. We know sleep, exercise, and eating right is important, but we find ourselves sacrificing self-care for the benefit of others. I think that's why it's so hard to tell when we're saying no to ourselves, because we're usually saying yes to what feels like the responsible thing to do or for a noble cause. But really, what matters most to you? Does that choice actually align with that? When I thought it over, I realized I was diluting my focus by trying to do everything all at once, and as a result, getting nowhere in anything. Up until that point, I constantly kept feeling I wasn't doing enough. I kept wondering, why the heck can't I get anything done? And then I'd beat myself up by feeling bad about being so slow and unproductive. But when I really looked at what I was trying to do, I realized I was actually doing too much. Little bits of everything. No wonder I got nowhere. I had often wondered what I'd do if I only had a month left to live, and the immediate answer was always, make my manga. I suppose if the whole world was ending, that might be a different answer, but if it was just me perishing, that was it. I realized I had to start saying no even to things I really want to do if I wanted to get anywhere. I needed to prioritize. I started pondering what to say no to, and that was when Lightbox Expo rolled around. I had been seeing my favorite artists advertise it on their posts on Instagram for a while, and I thought that it was cool, but I hadn't even considered going. I had never gone to a convention or anything quite like this before, where the focus of it was exactly what I love to do, full of other people who do the same thing, where our life's focus is to create characters, worlds, and stories in various forms. So many professionals were there, ready to share their experiences, and I had so much to learn from them. The day before it began, I decided, even though I had my entire weekend planned out, I said no to nearly all of it in order to attend. I said yes to Lightbox Expo. And it was amazing. Far more amazing than I imagined. There were so many talks that touched on topics I've been exploring lately, like how to become an independent artist, how publishing might work if I ever decided to print my manga, how artists create environmental concepts, backgrounds, and character designs, social media for artists, balancing art and life, the pressures of feeling like you need to be drawing all the time even though you know you need time away to refuel, and even taxes. I'm so glad I said yes. I learned so much. Following Lightbox Expo, I was fired up. I was ready to create. It was right then that my phone completely died. I lost all my data, all my thousands of reference photos I've captured, and about 4 videos worth of footage that I was literally going to transfer and edit that night. As I was lamenting all the videos I could never get back or recreate, I thought about what I gained. my phone felt light. And losing everything, I no longer had superfluous tabs or apps. While some of the photos were nice for reference, a majority of them were honestly pointless, and I realized I hardly looked at them anyways. When I sit down to draw, it's not the photos I think of, it's the experiences that come to mind. That's what fuels me. I took those photos because I don't trust my memory, but I realized in that moment that I remembered more than I thought. I realized it's more worth being present and viewing the world with open eyes than being preoccupied by taking photos. Losing all my data showed me the type of focus I could gain by getting rid of excess, which is exactly more of what I wanted. I thought again about my overloaded schedule. Taking my learnings from Lightbox Expo, I decided to slow down my posting here on YouTube and Instagram to give myself more time to focus on making manga and making illustrations. I also decided to sketch more to help practice creating compositions and capturing ideas more effectively. During Lightbox Expo, I decided to sketch during some of the talks, and on a whim, I picked up a wooden pencil instead of my usual ballpoint pen or mechanical pencil. I was pleasantly surprised by my quality of line. I was so happy with those loose little thumbnails, I felt energized. I knew this was something I needed to do more often. On the last talk I attended at the expo, I got to see the thinking process of two artists when it comes to composing illustrations. It helped me realize that their process had much less to do with technicalities, but more to do with design. Up until that point, I was convinced I couldn't make a good background or environment because I'm weak at perspective. But seeing this gave me the confidence to try, since design is something I'm far more comfortable with. I felt freed. I sketched out a ton of ideas, and it was amazing to see that I actually could make compositions like that. From then on, I decided to try pushing my illustrations a bit more and going beyond the limits I set for myself. I had come to realize this a while ago, but it was further emphasized to me by the turn of events. Perfection is a mirage. It's not the point. It's not what makes art interesting. Technical prowess isn't it either. It's ideas. The clearer you can convey that idea or feeling, the more you can connect with the people who view your work. Even though my skills aren't fully developed right now, if I could just get that idea or feeling across, it's enough. The me right now is enough. If I hadn't said no to what I had planned and said yes to going to Lightbox Expo, I may never have realized all this as soon as I did, if I ever would. And if I didn't start to say no to even the things I wanted to do, to focus on the few I really want to accomplish, I wouldn't have the time to work on any of this. The most common regret of the dying is wishing they lived life true to themselves instead of the life others expected of them. Time moves forward whether we want it to or not. Our lives are short, and if we don't prioritize and protect time to do what matters most, we may miss our chance. So I ask this: how do you want to spend your one life? If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Sometimes it feels like I'm talking to a void, so it lets me know that there's actual people out there who might be enjoying what I'm making. I'd really appreciate it. You can find me on Instagram as well as Patreon, where you can join my inner circle to see behind the scenes and see my manga in progress. Thanks for watching. Dare to do what your heart desires and have fun. Bye everyone!